Joining us now from Los Angeles, where she's following Mr. Obama around, Ann Coulter, the author of the book, Demonic. All right. So the president was smooth last night, as always, correct?
He was smooth. I mean, if you had never seen Obama before and just landed from Mars and saw him, you'd think he's a pleasant fellow. He has nice mannerisms. But I think I am not alone in finding those mannerisms increasingly grating because, I mean, he does have a history of policies that are very destructive to the country and this sort of arrogant manner about him, how he will not change course and talks down to people who disagree with him. So even what were charming mannerisms are getting really annoying.
All right. Now, a new Fox News poll just out. It's a very interesting question. It asked people if so-and-so were elected to the presidency, and they go by Obama, they go Kane, they go Romney, they go, would you be distraught? Distraught. I mean, really crazed, scared. President Obama comes in at 48%. By far the highest. Even you, Coulter,
right.
I think you didn't. I think you beat him. That was a joke. Just kidding.
So I'm actually a little disappointed it's only 48%.
That makes it impossible, almost impossible if the election were held tomorrow, the president to win. If 48% of Americans say, I would just be scared and distraught if this man were reelected, that's half the country.
Sure, but what about the other half of the country? I mean, look what this guy has done.
Well, they're not distraught, but I mean, there are varying levels of we love him, he's okay, so-so.
Well, Bill, I mean, everyone's 401ks are in the dirt. Housing prices are collapsing. The unemployment rate is through the roof. We have a $14 trillion debt, and Obama's answer is, let's spend more. More on public school teachers, another $30 billion on public school teachers. We need another $1 trillion stimulus bill. He passes Obamacare, which has made an absolute mess of the economy. We cannot recover as long as Obamacare is on the books. What is the matter with the 50% of the country who would not be distraught with another 4 years of this guy?
Look, half of them, some of them is I'll break it down for you. You got the big labor vote. You got the hardcore liberals at 20%. You got the ethnic vote. You got a lot of that coalition that Barack Obama can count on. He can count on it.
Right, but I think it's important to point out at this juncture that Republicans should not consider beating Obama a cakewalk. He has everything you just described. He has the mainstream media. We have to be very serious about nominating a candidate who can take out Obama.
And the Republican Party itself is divided.
Well, it always is in a primary.
Well, no. But philosophically, the Republican Party is divided between very conservative people and moderate Republicans. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Now, the occupiers. Here's what President Obama said on Leno last night about them.
As president, you look out your window, do you see this Occupy Wall Street movement? What do you make of it from your...
Look, people are frustrated, and that frustration has expressed itself in a lot of different ways. It expressed itself in the Tea Party. It's expressing itself in Occupy Wall Street. Everybody needs to understand that the American people feel like nobody's looking out for them right now.
And you say?
I'd say this would not be half as annoying if he were not buddying around with his pals at Goldman Sachs and Citibank and Solyndra and all of his rich friends. I mean, you were asking Dick Morris earlier, how is it that 43% of Americans can say they sympathize with the goals of Occupy Wall Street? I think it's very simple. It's because of the name, Occupy Wall Street. In point of fact, these people are not against Wall Street. They're walking right past George Soros's house and protesting outside Rupert Murdoch's apartment. Well, you know, the name of their group isn't Occupy Producers of Products We Disapprove of. They say Wall Street. I agree with them, and I think they're ruining a good cause. When Wall Street is not behaving in a free market way, taking bets, speculation, risk-taking, all of that is good for the economy. But when the bets go bad and they go running to their Democrat friends in the White House, from Bill Clinton to President Obama, and get bailed out by the American taxpayer, that is not a free market. And I think all Americans should be angry about that sort of crony capitalism, and the crony capitalism you see with Obama sending all this money to his green project friends for, you know, ridiculous projects that will go nowhere, that will not provide energy, and yet they're all big Democratic donors. That isn't capitalism. That isn't the free market. As for inequality, it's a red herring to talk about inequality. The Politburo lived pretty well in the Soviet Union. Hugo Chavez and Fidel Castro lived very, very well. The question is freedom or big government. With Obama, you get big government, and his rich friends get richer and richer. If you get rich on your own, like the rich people you were mentioning, fine, more power to you.
All right, Ann, thanks very much. As always, directly ahead, if Obamacare is not repealed, the medical histories of Americans may wind up in the hands of the federal government.